Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tracy, and today's video we are going to be doing Kendra's Card Challenge 16, sketches 7-8 with Kraftin Kimmie. Alright, so with Kendra's Card Challenge, you make 15 cards with 6 sheets of 6x6 pattern paper and enter to win one of the quarterly prizes or monthly prizes from one of these super sponsors. And today's super sponsor is Kraftin Kimmie. Thank you so much, Kimmie, for your amazing stamps. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so what I have here are the Icy Penguin Pals. I'm going to be stamping out all of the penguins, and then we have this adorable little two-part stencil. And I wanted to just show you real quick because I've already done my pattern paper with these stencils, but I wanted to show you real quick one idea for stenciling these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a very pale piece of pink paper, and I'm going to lay the first stencil down over top of it, just right where I want it. And this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of paper. And I'm going to grab my favorite white ink. You use yours. And I like to use my pouncers for these. So you can use a brush. Use what you have. And I'm just going to pounce out the white ink here all over the stencil. And it's a pretty simple process. You can also rub with the pouncer, and I'll show you how to hold it in a moment. I'm going to pull off my stencil, and I noticed there's a couple of parts I missed, so I'm just going to lay my stencil right back down and get over here where I missed and where I need a little bit thicker ink. Then once I have all my white ink down, and you could do a couple of coats if you wanted to, and even you could heat emboss over that if you wanted to. Just pour some clear white embossing powder over the white ink because it's a pigment and it stays really thick. Then I'm going to match up the stencil, and I noticed I had it flipped to the wrong side, and they're clearly marked. I just don't look at the markings. Then I'm going to grab some Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm going to pounce that in. And if you want heavier ink, you can rub, but you need to hold your pouncer kind of about midway. So you may get ink on your fingers. No biggie for me. That's par for the course. So I'm just going to fill this in, and I'm not going to do it perfectly because I've already done these. I just wanted to demonstrate this particular stencil and something fun you could do with it by using white. So that's how that's done. We're going to go ahead and stamp out the little penguins, little Icy Penguin Pals, and I'm going to be using some alcohol marker friendly paper and alcohol marker friendly ink to stamp them out. And it may take a couple of times. These are brand new stamps. And a lot of times if you have a lot of stamps on your platform, you may not get as even of coverage. So that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I just want to get them all stamped down and colored. Now I will color and fussy cut these out off camera just to save time this time. And then I've got ahead and pulled out and pre-cut all of my parts here. So we are going to be starting with sketch 8 because that's what's on top. And so I've already chosen my papers and such. And see, here's where I stenciled that same one. I think I did that one with some picked raspberry. And I did some pretty heavy stenciling with the white and a darker pink cardstock. Kind of a little bit of a heavier one. I don't know what's with me, but I'm on a pink kick right now. Then I've got the bottom strip, and I decided it's a little too plain. So I'm going to zhuzh it up here with my jelly pen, and I'm just going to put little abstract dots, almost like snow, just randomly all over. And while I'm doing that, I want to talk about the fact that this is a hop, and it is a giveaway hop. So there is a form down below in the description box that you can fill out at each stop along the way the hop. To enter to win a prize from Kendra. And so make sure and stop by everybody's hop page and enter, see if you can win. All right, now that we've got that zhuzhed up, and you can see I used a piece that I broke earlier because, well, our color cardstock is, quite valuable. So I'm going to lay that down on the bottom. And then we just have our center strip, and I don't even really need to put a strip in there because I am using white. And this is a shiny paper, and then what do? I put the glue on the shiny side. Whoops. That's okay. Not going to see much of it anyway. So I'll go ahead and get that stuck down. And then I'm going to add my twine here, and I have some pink and white baker's twine that I'm going to add. And it's a little bit longer than I need, and I am going to leave the tails on the bow to start out with, just so that, you know, I can trim them up later, decide how I want them to hang and such. So I've got that on there, and I'm going to move it to where it needs to be on the card front. Then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to add some low profile foam tape. So this is my 1-inch 1mm foam tape that I'll be sad when it's gone and I'll have to shop for more. Yeah, foam tape's not cheap, my friends. It isn't, but, and I could use, I mean, I probably have enough scraps to build up things for days. But the only thing that about using, you know, all your scraps for trying to get a lot of dimension is that, you know, on a big piece like this, it's going to impact the weight of the card, which could put you over the ounce mark, triggering extra postage. So this is an A2 size card, and so far so good. It's not going to trigger extra postage because of the low profile foam tape, and because of the fact that it's foam and not chunks of paper. Don't get me wrong, I like to use layers and layers of paper too, but only in a small portion, like on a sentiment or something. So I'll go ahead and glue this down to a pink card base because, like I said, I'm on a pink kick. And then all we need to do is add our focal point. So I've got the circle, and then this is that shiny white paper again, which isn't that easy to see on camera except for when it reflects. I'm just going to add the two circles together and just take one of these scrap pieces of foam tape and tape it on the back, just top and bottom, so that it can straddle that piece of twine. This is probably my favorite sketch. I don't know. I kind of like one. Well, I kind of like them all, so never mind. Ignore me. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. And it is a little bit, I want to say it's a little bit lower than the original sketch, but it's where I want it, so that's that. So I'll go ahead and trim off my string there, and then I'll pop up my little penguin pal. I'm not going to be adding sentiments to these cards today. Just because I just haven't decided what I want to put on there, and just sometimes I can't decide, and so I'll just leave them and add a sentiment later. I'll probably do a black with white heat embossing just to pull in the black from the penguin. So let's move on to sketch 7. So here I have a piece of that pale pink cardstock that I'm going to start with, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a tiny little matte layer onto my stencil piece of cardstock, which is going to be my background layer. And everything else is going to be solid on this card because the background is quite busy. So I don't want to have a whole lot of distracting things to the eye, because that's going to be enough. And I'll just grab my trimmer and I'll trim down the other two sides. And this is where I usually break it, but you know, it's a handmade card, so it's fine. We're fine. It's all good until it's not. Then I'm going to add the little flags, and I colored the flags with the same inks that I used to stencil with, and then used a white piece. So all of my flags on this are solid. So on this, I think I used lumberjack plaid, kitsch flamingo, and then of course white. So I'll add the 3 flags and get them all nice and even on there. And this is, on this card, this is what helps you place the rest of the parts, the 3 rectangles or squares actually. So I colored the background of these squares with again the lumberjack plaid so that everything would pull together, and then I'll add the little white inner layers. And then just do all 3 of them. Sorry about that. I interrupted myself. I don't know about any of my friends that do voiceover on video, but I do it on my iPad, and I'm sort of hunched over, and for whatever reason, my nose decides that it wants to run every time I do a voiceover. And I'm like, why? Why? I don't have a cold. There's nothing wrong, but you just want to run today. So I'm going to glue the top and the bottom square straight down without any kind of popping up. And see, there's where you can hit your landmark there, is by butting that up against the last flag and then having the same space as you had on the top. And then we'll put the third one down, and I'm going to pop that up, and you'll see me make a mistake here. And I did leave that in because, I don't know. And this is a little bit higher profile foam tape. And so you see I'm putting the foam tape all the way across the top, but I really didn't want to do that. And then I think, wait a minute, wait, that's not right. Okay, let's turn it this way. Okay, there's the way it needs to go. But my foam tape is I need to trim the foam tape so that there's a little bit of space. So that it'll sit flat on the card, if that makes sense. So you see how I'm doing them sort of catty corner to each other. Like that, so it's even all the way across. And I'll add a little bit of wet glue because I'll probably make a mistake again. And I want to be able to move it so that it's even. And then we'll go ahead and put our little penguins down. Aren't these guys just stinking adorable? I can't get over how cute they are. And I am going to glue them flat down because I already have something popped up on the card, and we don't always need to go pop crazy. Now this guy, I don't want to cover a lot of him, and the middle square kind of goes over, so I don't mind putting him off to the side a little bit. Not one single bit. So we'll put him off to the side and put our third one down, and this card will be done. Not adding any extra embellishments or a sentiment at this time. I'll do that at a later time. So that's it. We need to just put this down on a card base here, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a white card base just to pull in the white from the centers and the white from the little flag. There we go. And of course I put that on a top folder so it opens weird, but we're okay with that. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Enter to win. Visit by all the hop stops. And thanks so much for spending your time with me today. Take care. Bye-bye.